Just got to get you guys to move better. That's why we're doing the other stuff. So that's why I thought today we'd work on that. All right. You ready to go? Everybody ready to go? Let me take another sip of my coffee. All right. To get you guys to get into some more dynamics of punching, and the idea of punching, or chopping, or hitting, or any of that stuff, and the legs work the same as your hands are going to work. You know, with that pull-back motion. A really hard punch to pull off is these, we'll call it like the slapping hands or squeeze punch. The reason why that's hard to pull off is because any punch that you're throwing, you want a pull-back motion. So if punches really work, or chops really work, which you guys know, on the back motion, not on the forward motion. On a forward motion, they're going into something and coming out. When they hit, to really emphasize the power of the hit, right? You want to be able to hit, create that shock wave, and come back, which is more for combat. So we can get into the dynamics of that. I think we got a bunch of videos out there when we talked about that, right? You watched all the videos, or we got something that way. So what the main thing is if Moshe's standing here, and he's got his hands up like he's fighting, and I'm punching this way. See, this is a nice strong punch. I'm not saying it's not, but the punch, when you're closing your hand and all the coordination that comes in, is what's giving you guys trouble. So when you hit something, that's the punch. So what's happening here is I'm coming over, boom, I'm closing my hand just before I hit. So it's coming here, right? The hand, as soon as I get to this point, that's where you stop. So a strong punch or something like that, which is good, which causes, whatever it does, is going in, it's pushing into and coming back. This particular punch, or when you get into chopping, which is even, boom, chops just hit, pull back, bam, they come back. That's why they're so powerful. But here, the coordination is just before you hit, you close. So it only hits to the target. When it hits the target, it closes. So like if I'm coming here and I'm hitting, I'm only hitting to here. When it hits, it just hits here, boom, and it moves. So it's only moving that way, so it's snapping back. So there I pushed it a little bit just to emphasize it, but when it hits, it just, boom, it's hitting right to it and moving back, which is why you threw up last time, right? So what it does is it just does this internal movement. What happens is that in your brain, because we go into our reptile brains, we feel that when we throw something, we have to throw it in, especially like the Hulk, right? You're throwing it in, boom, you're hitting, boom, you're hitting this way. And that's good, But to get momentum, to get a skill set with the punching and with the chopping, it only hits two and comes back. It only hits two and comes back. So, boom, I'm hitting this way. Boom, bam, it hits. And then I can place it anywhere I want with it and move with it. You see, you feel that, right? You can feel how it's going to be like. So when you're doing like these punches and you're practicing them, one, it increases your speed. And as you're moving, I'm going to be moving this way here, and I come out, and then just before I hit, that's when you close, and that's that snap back. That's the power of coming in the back motion. Bam! Boom, boom, right? So, if you could put that back there because we're going to go. You guys come out here, right? Face that way, All right? So, I can't tell you how, make a straight line. I can't tell you how hard this is to start to practice it. So I know it's the 5-element form. So if you guys just take your hand and I want you to stand this way for the moment, just so you're really emphasizing on the movement of the punch. Because you guys are all very bad at this. And then we could take this and the chops work the same way. Chops work the same way because the chops come out and then they turn just before they hit. And then, boom, it snaps back. And that is what brings the power of chopping and also the speed. All right, so when you guys are coming out, this is a pan view of everybody here. It's getting everybody. I want you to just stand this way here, and I want you to come out like this here. As you come out, you close your hand, and then we'll have you guys stand with somebody in front of you. Next time I'll bring in the handbags, right? And then just before you hit, right, you'll see that as I was touching organic material, as I touch that, just before I hit, it moves a little, boom, and then it comes back, right? So you've got to be standing here like this, boom, come back. Now you've got to close in also on your center. Your center, where your chi is where you really want to focus all your power. So you don't want to do this, where you're jerking, right? It just comes back here, you close in on your center like we're doing the Tai Chi, and you boom, and you hit, boom, and you hit, boom, and you hit. Try it. Okay, so now, you know, from here, like you're drawing your gun, right? You're going to come out here and you just come out as fast as you can and hit and come back. All right, ready? Start with the left side, right? Go. As fast as you can. That's still not fast enough. So if I'm sitting here and I'm aiming at a target, I'm coming out this way here and I'm going back, back, right? All right, you got that? I want you to come out like you're hitting something, but center yourself. So it's coming out fast, and when it hits, if I'm fighting, boom, it's coming out, boom, right? And this is where you can switch the chops. Very effective stuff. It's, you know, for combat, right? Different. You really can't use this in the ring, because in the ring, you know, you've got the gloves on, you've got the stuff on, it's not that type of thing. This is for, you're fighting, you know, for your life, right? All right? All right, so just one hand now. Let's just do the left hand. As fast as you can come out, just boom, come out and hit. And come back. Ready? Go. Now you see how it's doing this? You see how you guys are doing this? Or you're slapping? Right? So when you guys come back, it's still coming back full arm. When you see what I'm doing it, I'm coming from here. I'm coming from this way here. And it comes right down. You see how it has all these fundamental movements in it? Like how it's coming from top, boom! It's coming in, bam, right? Boom! That's how you start to move, and that's when your legs start to come in. It is a very difficult thing to stand in front of, you know, in combat. Okay? So, this good and plenty arm, nobody even knows what that is anymore, but the good and plenty arm can't be in here. It has to just come out, boom! It just comes out. You know, like, here it is, he's got his hands up. We're fighting, poof! It's just out, it's out. He's been hit 3 times already. And it hurts, or more than it hurts. All right? So you guys got to build up your speed, but what's slowing you down is this forearm. So in punching, in most punching, you have your heavy hit punches, this is on the other thing, but your real muscle that you're using for your punches right here. For men. Women don't have this muscle. It's like when they, why women shoot handguns better than men do, because they don't have that muscle that brings you back. So you want to use that. Women can do it too, because that's with the yin motion, but call it like boom, you just get it, boom, just get it back. So if you see, when I'm coming up with this, I'm coming up this way. So I'm drawing my pistol. I'm not drawing the pistol this way, though I can. But I'm drawing my pistol. When I get here, right, is when I shoot it. So if he's standing, he's fighting, and I'm coming this way, here, from out of nowhere, I'm coming up, but I'm not doing this motion. I'm coming out with my full arm. When I come up, boom, it just comes out. And that's where I can hit and come in and snag, and they're hard hits. I mean, they're really painful, right? They look simple, but you hit somebody with that and they go down. And really just knocks you out because you're creating that shock wave. But you also want to increase your speed. So I'm not going like this here when I'm moving my forearm going this way. Now, if I'm fighting, boom, and I'm fighting this way, this is my whole forearm. Boom! I'm not saying that's not strong, but I'm still doing that kick back there too, so I'm cheating a little bit as well. All right? All right, so let's alternate hands. So we'll go left, right, okay? You guys ready? Okay, go. Now just one hand at a time. So go left first and then right, so I can see everybody. That was better. Okay, go. 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 No, right? So maybe two hands, maybe like a double punch. Maybe that's why you moved a little bit better. Let's see if that works, right? So it would be like 1, 2. It could be anyone you want to start with, okay? Ready? Go. Go. So maybe it's a little bit better with the 1, 2. Singling, making it more singular, is causing you to take it too seriously, right? Right? Go. 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 Now for you, hope that's a long way. You've come a long way, right? Go. Go. So the movement, if Ben was out here and he's standing, the movement from here to here is just really simple. Just comes out, right? So here I'm coming in, just moving, and I'm coming in with all these other motions and hitting. And also, causing a lot of shock waves. Like your body's just being thrown all over the place. For street, for combat. If I'm taking a chop, I took a chop, I went this way with the chop, boom, and I'm hitting here. So I hit here, and it almost, boom, it hits one place, it hits another, right, on the back motion. It's like it could be a double, like you can't even see that, but it's hitting twice. So if you're coming into if I'm doing something like this here, and I just go this way here, what I did here is I just took 2 feet in his eye, and I went to his eyeball, and then this just comes in. You see how effective that is? And also, if somebody's standing in front of you, all this motion comes in. So here, I just start working off the arms, off everything that's there, whatever you're using as your so-called force fields, protection. It's not protecting. Not on the street. So you see how this builds on a theme. You're guys are going to stand in front of each other. You're going to practice it. But right now, I need to kind of increase what you're coming out with. So let's do a little bit of you two face each other and you two face each other. All right. So now you got a target. So if Venom's out here, and I'm going to just stand straight up then. And I'm just going to practice this thing. All right? You start practicing. That's what I want you to do. Can you do that? You go get right out there. Just stand in front of each other. Make sure you got your range. And do 1 punch, do 2 punches, do a series of punches, and then the other guy goes. Maybe if somebody's in front of you, you'll grasp it a little bit. But then we'll get into fighting stances when you guys actually start doing the stuff that's in the 5-element form. Right? Because we need to bring it into real life. Combat. Now this will increase your speed for the ring fighters that are out there that want to bring this stuff into the ring. That's great. But if you're looking to increase your speed and your power, this is a great way of doing it and give you different things. Like professional boxers will probably know exactly what I'm talking about with this here. Getting the whole idea of getting that down. But the whole here, what makes this different is that when you hit, you close before you hit and come back. That's the difficulty of this. So there's some coordination with this to help you, guide you to get that. It's not just coming out and hitting, right? You have to close before you hit, which creates that shot. Okay? All right, go ahead. Just practice it a little bit, guys, on each other, and have a little target practice, right? Guys, remind me, I'll bring in the sight bags next time. We can practice this a little bit. Now, I would say practice to, don't move around yet. Just stand there, really try to emphasize, I'm standing here and boom, I'm emphasizing this, boom, right? You got to feel the power in that just from here, right? Okay? Yeah. But it has to float, guys. It's got to float. It's almost like, okay, so if Alex is out here for a second, right? And he's standing here, and I'm practicing this punch. I'm floating, so I'm not you shouldn't see it. It floats. Like boom, boom. If I step, boom, boom, and come in, that's different. That's what we're going to be doing. Right? How you're actually coming in on your target. Okay? But you don't want to see the middle. Right? The middle, it's almost like it's not there. Right? It's not there. So if I'm coming this way here, coming around, you see where all that stuff starts to come in? Right? So it all kind of builds on this theme when you're actually doing the 5-element form. You get to that part and you're doing your slap, you start moving. So if we're standing here, I'm just moving, all this is snap, you're coming in so quickly and so condensed. Right? It's very, very powerful. It's really, really powerful. So when you're practicing this, you don't want to see your whole body move, like your whole body moves a little bit, from the shoulders up. Right? If I'm coming out here, I'm just going, just here, right? Okay? Go ahead. You're getting better, guys. You're getting better. Remember, this is for, street fighting, I guess. Fighting real life violence. You can pull it into the ring too, because all this practice just makes your hands quicker, gives you a better foundation when you're actually throwing your punches and coming out with them, you know. So have a destination in your mind when you're throwing your punch. It should go right where you want it to go. The other beauty about these punches is they can be done at very, very close range. Like you could be right on top of the person and still keep coming into them and throwing this technique. You can throw combos to Tim. You're tightening it up there, man. Loosen up. Just keep it loose. Don't think about power. Think about motion and movement, guys. The power comes in the snap. Don't really worry about the power. It will just develop through the motion and movement of what you're doing. Think aggressive thoughts, though. Right? You're going to hit your target. You're hitting that target to knock them down. Now you guys are closing your hands before you strike, right? You're just doing that catch the fly, right? Catch the fly. Flies on the back motion. So you can see that needs work. So when you get into like, come on, David, right? When you get into like combos and movements, and he's standing, he's fighting. He's a big guy, right? We all know the Hulk is a strong dude. So if I'm here and I'm going, you see my combos come here, kind of like a boxer, you know, where you're coming out, but I'm coming this way. Now I can take this combo and lay right in here, boom, come in and hit. As I'm attacking. It's a very aggressive technique as far as just throwing something, but you're also got your open hands with it, and you know, as you're coming in. So we're moving, I'm just coming out here, I'm just, and then you see the throat strike, bam. All this comes in, you know, I like fighting red zone. So when he's standing here, he's fighting me, I just come right in on him, bam, it's all coming in, it just all moves in. You know, and I'm gonna, because, you know, he's a big guy, I don't want to get hit with him. Right? You start to see how that works. So let's play with that just a little bit. So what you're going to do first, and then I'm going to have you guys stand in front of each other and kind of target each other a little bit, right? So first, get where you were here before. Now we're in your line. So your attack mode. Last class we worked a little bit on footwork, right? Where you're not stepping into your opponent. So here you got to stand this way here. You got to come out with whatever leg you want to come out. Like I'm still nursing a little bit of an injury here, but I'm feeling better, right?
Gunner's helping.
Yeah. Well, Gunner's working with me, but I haven't seen him. He's been on vacation, 4th of July, all that stuff, so Thursdays, right? Anyway, so here, I want you to step out, and as you step out, you see I'm stepping this way. You're not stepping out this way. I'm stepping out heel toe, and then I'm going to, right from the step. So if he's standing in front of me, and he's got a fighting stance, if I'm stepping here from a draw, which most street fighting really kind of goes like that. You're not doing this whole stuff that you see in the movies. It's just like, from wherever you are, you're the unsheathed sword, you're just doing the do. If I step out of here, I'm stepping here, see? I'm stepping here, this follows my movement. Even though it's going fast. So this steps here as I go here, and then I'm coming in. You see? So at this point here, I'm stepping down, hit, this comes in. So my whole motion here is just, and then I'm moving. And you can see how all this starts to work off the hands and stuff. All right? It's really like pulling on a sword, drawing the sword, and cutting at the same time. Your hands can become that dangerous. All right? So let's try that just once all together. So you're going to come out, you've got to step. Now you see when I come out and I step, I take a boxing position. Like, I don't know if you guys ever slap boxed or shadow boxed before, but you're coming up this way here, and then I'm closing 1, 2. Now these hits could be 1, 2 elongated. It could be here, I could come in 2 and shorten them. Let me demonstrate that a little bit. So the first hit, so you guys can get to play with that when you're moving. So you need your energy walls, like you're hitting something, right? You're imagining, but you've got to stay in front of each other as well to see that. All right, so at this point here, if I take the elongated hit, I'm coming here. So these are long. If I take the short hit, I'm here. And boom, this is where I'm moving, right? You can see where that's going to do a lot. The long hits and the short hits have the same amount of power. So I can sit here and move this way and hit it boom, from here, has the same amount of power. Boom, just move in. So I just move and start working on it. I don't have to be here to throw the hit. I can be right here, boom, and hit, right? And I'm pushing them a little bit. If I'm hitting this way, I'm hitting down, this all changes those hits, yeah. And you feel it inside, just going light, because I don't want you to puke it on me. All right, so you get the idea then. But when you're really, like one's following the other, you okay? All right, when one's following the other, and I'm here, this goes here, this all comes, you're just coming in, you're just, go on my McDonald's coffee, you know, out of the way. See how it works? And you guys got it. Anybody can do it. It's just, got to be patient. So, you know, people are watching this, want to practice at home, it's good to videotape yourself. And you'll see that you suck. But what does it take?
Patience, practice.
Yes, both. Very good. Right? Patience and practice, guys. You'll get there. So the first one that you got to do, you could either do the long or the short. I like the short because I like being right in the combat zone. I'm going to step out, step, position, condense my center, and punch. Okay, you guys got that? So now you're getting more into a fighting thing, like if you're standing in front of me. So here you are, you're bad guy, you got your fist up. Stand. Like you're just this tough guy on the street, get your hands like you're fighting. There you go. That's a tough guy. He's tough. And my attacks could be anywhere. It could be here, it could be here, just coming in. Like, he already showed me what he was going to do. I could just see him step here, boom, bam, just move right off the hands. You know, and before he even moves. Because he's moved, people are moving, you know. But in the street fights I've been in, very few, you know, the guys sitting there doing this. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. You know, the fist, the person's fist sometimes doesn't even leave the person's face before they'll be grabbed and taken down, you know, or wrestled, okay? So these shots come out so quick and so fast, I don't even know what the hell's happening. Right? It's cool stuff, okay? So again, step, not this way. You don't want to step with your toes down. You don't even want to step flat, okay? Sometimes this is okay depending on what you're doing, but you should always step kind of heel toe in here, position yourself, and then throw it. So take your time with it. Make sure that your body position feels strong before you throw, and that will get rid of some of that excess movement that you have coming out of your shoulders, okay? You guys want to try it? It's difficult, but now you're learning some power. You know, fighting street. Mortal Kombat. Big difference, Mortal Kombat. Huge. Well, I'm not saying you can't use this stuff in the ring, but you really can't use this part with hands closing and opening and all of that stuff, right? Because ring fighting is a whole different ballgame. Like, it's two warriors just battling now. Street, it's checkmate. You know, you screw up, it's over. It's like, you know, you screw up a chess move, you know, the guy's nice, oh, take that knife back, you know. It's checkmate, right? So you really want to have that reaction. And what's great about this technique, as well as you start to get it, no matter how you're feeling, that's a good point to bring out. So maybe I'll bring that to the camera. No matter how you're feeling, you're having a bad day, you know, like here's down here, he's the bad guy, right? I know he looks like a bad guy. You get out of there. Let me use it. He looks like a bad guy. So he's out here, right? He's like, yeah. And I'm walking this way here. No matter what it is, however I'm feeling, I pull it out. You pull it out because it comes from your center. Nothing happens. Tim looks like a bad guy too. You come out here, Tim looks like a bad guy. Right? You just look like, you know, RoboCop, right? Right? So he's out here, he's doing this here, and I'm having a bad day. You know, my motion, it's all here. Just all movement. It just comes from your center. It's out, it's there. No matter how your limbic system is kicking in, how emotional you are, how bad things are, what's happening, your dog dies, whatever it is, you can just pull it out because it's always present. That sword, the unsheathed sword, is always present. And then you can just bring that out of you no matter what your day may be. Even sometimes if you're really, really severely sick, it will just come out. And I've done it. You know, I've done it. I've been, you know, through heart attacks and colon and, you know, shingles and all that stuff. And I'm still practicing. Just pull it out. You know, I got that from my cat. I was fighting my cat one time, and I knew how to piss off animals. And he's coming at me, and he was dying of kidney failure, which I didn't know. I'm a kid, young, like 18, 19 years old. And he still fought me. You know, he still pulled out his catness. I don't know how to say it, you know. You know, he still pulled out his catness. Like, he was still like there. And of course I didn't know he was dying. It's how he's working funny, this, that, and the other thing. But, you know, most cats, when they're older, die of kidney failure, you know, which I didn't know as a kid. And his name was Midnight, you know. And I make these sounds that piss off animals. I'm pretty good because I did a whole study on animals, right? And I get him, and he's coming at me, his nose is flaring, and then he died. Not right there, not right at that moment, but, you know, like later he was gone. You know, and he was just fighting like a second ago, you know what I mean? Like he just brought his catness out. And you need to bring some of your animal qualities out. You know, you need to get in touch with that part of it, and just bring it out. That's what I mean, like, when it triggers from your center, you got all that, you know, death and rebirth violence in you. You have that whole concept of just bringing it out of you. You know, violent realization. There's nothing easy to talk about violence. You know, there's no way easy to talk about violence, real violence. You know, ring gets tough, you know, because both fighters are in there trying to knock each other out because, you know, there's money in that. You know, so but violence on the street is very permanent. And you need to have that catness as well. You need to pull that cat out of you, whatever that animal is, and you just need to react. Your best way here is, oh, you know, like, here's the bad guy, he's coming out, he's the bad guy, and you've got his hands up, oh, not today, man. My cat just died, I can't deal with this. You know, it's from my center, boom, it just comes out. That whole center of violent realization comes out. Violent realization is also creative realization. Because things are created through violence. It's just the way it is, you know? And it's also destroyed through, and that's why I call it the whole death and birth ritual. So this is a good thing to also put into play, that you are always in your unsheathed sword. You're always ready, no matter what's happening. You're going through a lot of crap right now. right? So all that stuff, you got stuff on your mind. You can't say, oh, you know, I'm going through a lot, just come back and rob me later, or you're gonna hurt me later. You walk in your house and there's a guy there holding his TV, your TV set. So you could say, do you really need a TV? Take it. But then again, you say, but I really like that TV, I'm gonna fight for that. You know, that happened to a friend of mine, that's why I'm telling you the story. Right? He walked up and there's this guy on the foot of his bed holding the TV. And they fought. They fell down the stairs. The TV got destroyed. It was just really funny. But the whole thing was just that, you know, you really want that TV? You can say, well, you know, do I really need this to destroy it? He actually threw the TV out. Yeah, people are crazy. But anyway, there you go. You could pull this out when you get it at any time. So in other words, systems within systems, the whole thing, the whole idea of creating from your center, no matter how you are, you pull out that catness. You fight no matter what's happening. You know, like you could just do it, you just pull it out. So there's more to this than just throwing a good punch. It's also attitude, presence, recognizing your presence, and bringing it in. That whole thing with the fight force that we're dealing with, all getting all that in. It just happens. And that's why even though I'm 220 years old, I can still just perform and walk through you guys. Violence. I wouldn't get in the ring with the, you know, the Incredible Hulk or stuff like that. Yeah, that's not my way of fighting. My way is ending. Sword down. You know that. You don't want to stand in front of it. It's real. So there's a difference. So you could bring this into different elements, you know, these techniques and stuff, but this is for combat. So you need to have this. You can't just come out and say, so I step here, this concentrates, it's here. Because all my aggression, all my violent attitude comes from my center, but it's contained and explodes from here. Boom! The big bang. Okay? Just hit that wall, boom! Sparked into nothing, and I'm hitting something that's even worse. Right? I have a direction. So pull that attitude into you guys. You know? Condense your center, which is throughout the whole 5-element form and the Tai Chi. Bring that in here, get that. So you could pause it a little bit and get, like, feel that aggression in your center and throw it out. You should be able to use this at any time in your life. You wake up out of bed, you walk into your house, you know, somebody's standing there that's violent, you know, or somebody's attacking, and you're having a bad day. The movement just comes in from your center. The striking will always be there. It will always be there for you. It will always be there. And it always is there. When you talk about spirit and consciousness and the is, you know, it's the whole idea of what's here that everybody's trying to solve it. It just is. It just is. And you're a part of that. Just pull that out. And that also has healing, you know, effects, anti-aging effects. Keeps you around a long time. Still moving like a 60-year-old. Okay? You guys got it? So a little extra there too. It's not just throwing a punch. All right, so again, when you step out this way. If you want to step out flat once to see how it is with the ground and come out, that's cool too. So in other words, if he's standing here and I come out, instead of the heel step, I come out flat, boom, boom, and I hit. I'm just coming here, boom, boom, hit, boom, I'm just coming in and moving. You could do that too. You could play with it a little bit, all right? But heel toe, come out, feel this, and then throw. It should be present all the time. So as soon as you throw, it's from here, but not here. It's not here, it's the whole body. That's what you need to practice. That's where the Tai Chi comes from, right? So when you throw, Tim, it's all here. And that's why it's not bringing it down. True Chi, or energy, we'll say, is all from here. Your Tang, right? It's all here. But on systems within systems, it's condensing the whole thing down. It's flowing. And if you bring that into your mind, into your brain, and the brain flows, that's good Chi. That's a lifetime of work. But it's good to start now. Okay? You guys ready? You're going to have to stand in front of each other. Give it a shot. On your own. Remember, you're on camera, everybody can see how good you're doing. You know? And just practice it. Now, a little bit freer than with those hands. You see how you're coming out stiff arm, right? So we want, all right, let's do something different. I don't like this. I don't like what you're doing. Let's aid. But you get the idea. Everything I said is true. But just we'll bring it into different practice. So here we're doing the close hands, right? So here I want you to step out, step. There's a fly here. Catch the fly. And that's it. And then you catch the fly. And bring it back. So you're going to come out. There's a fly in front of you. All flies, how you catch flies usually. This is really good. Sometimes you don't want to discuss that. I catch the fly. It's on the back motion. So here. You see where I'm coming this way? You see when you punch, you're coming out, still, this is here showing? So if you're more relaxed and you're doing like a Bruce Lee punch, what? Right? What? Right? Coming out that way here. That's how he got very fast, right? He's doing that whole idea of coming out with what? He's just, whoop, and he made those funny sounds, right? Boom, boom, catch the fly. Catch that fly, right? And see if you could loosen yourselves up a little bit, then you can come into like more heavy hitting with it. Because if I'm hitting heavy, right? If I'm hitting heavy, right? And he's standing, he's fighting. If I'm hitting heavy, boom, it's the same. It's all the same, right? It all comes in. So if you can loosen up this part and generate your power from your center, you're gonna come out. You're gonna be quicker, faster, right? So maybe you won't be as fast as me, but you're gonna be pretty fast, right? And over the years, you get faster. You don't slow down. You know, you just get quicker. All right. So catch that fly. Try to do that. And maybe we can loosen you up a little bit. Just like literally, you see the fly in front of you, catch it. Like bam, bam, that damn fly. Catch that damn thing. You know what I'm going to do is in one class, I'll just bring a pile of crap and bring a bunch of flies in you and just stay in front of you, and you can just start hitting them, catching them. Right? But when you step out, position yourself and then throw. Like you can see, there's a lot of variables to this. It's like learning the ballroom dance.
Do you maybe want to try the chair training? Or we're doing it while sitting down?
No, not yet. No, you guys had, I don't want to cheat with it, but that's a good idea. We're going to get into that because you've got to fight from every position.
Because I found in the past when we like...
Are you getting tired? Are you getting tired? You're not tired, right?
No,
Okay,
I just started.
All right. Because you shouldn't get tired of this. Your breath, I'll have to show you guys down the line how to breathe. Keep the breathing recycled. It's a little bit better, Venom, but I would like you to still loosen up more. You see? You're still coming out too strong, too stiff. I'm not saying that's not a bad punch. But if you're fighting somebody like the Hulk, or if you're fighting somebody that's, you got to remember the person you're fighting in the streets, adrenaline's going. Right? So with yours, adrenaline can be good or can be bad. Just loosen up. Right? And have a destination. You could throw it at different sides too. You could throw low, high, just experiment a little bit with it, from your trigger points.
We can be coming up from any trigger point, not just...
Yes, but you're not really coming up. The trigger point is always before you strike. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. Right? How would you practice this at home?
Ball. Same, right?
The ball, right? Your shadow demons, moving free, just trying to bring all that stuff into play. It's a really hard workout if you start really just practicing like you're fighting multiple people. Right? Get a whole idea of that. Loosen up your movement. Point here is how you guys keep going, and come out with different legs and stuff. Point here is how you move in here is how you would move in real life. When you're striking here, you're striking to knock out. So you should be putting, like you would really be hitting something. All right, let's talk about trigger points. Maybe this will help you guys know. Triggers are where you're punching from. This may help you, okay? Because you form the pattern, and you need to break that pattern. Just like our conversation you had last time you were down here, right? You got a pattern. You like your patterns. Even though you hate them, you like them. You like staying. So you need to break that, right? A trigger point means is when something's in front of me, I'm going to target where it's going to be. So if I'm going for an eye socket, I'm going here. If I'm going for the throat, I'm going here. So when my hands come up, the triggers are from your elbows to your wrist to your fingertips, especially if you're closing. So your trigger points are already decided before you go. You guys, when you're doing it, all of these, you more so, are forming patterns. So you're just staying with the pattern. You're not really seeing the target that you're hitting. So if I have a target out here, right, I'm just standing straight up, Hulk, right? There's all these target points. So if I'm going to hit the Hulk, I'm going to hit him here. That's what's going to do the damage. I can see that's where I want to strike. But I'm going to have a disconnection. So I'm going to here hit, this is my first trigger, and then come into here. I may use this same hand and hit, and then come around here. So I'm causing all these shock waves as I'm coming in and hitting. But my triggers are coming from here. I know I want to hit here. So my triggers here launches. And now this is already set. I want to hit to his throat, right? Or I want to stab to the throat, right? Then here, I'm going to take open hand and come to the eye. And then I'm going to palm strike on the back motion, right? That's what it's, that's how cool it can get, right? You know, how you can just do multiple hits in one hit, right? Same as knife fighting, right? So here when I trigger, so say he takes a fighting stance, right? So he's already triggered. So this is where his punches are going to come from. This is also showing me, especially when we get into knife defense and stuff like that, where he's coming at, right? So if I'm standing here, I'm triggered. So if I just take this position, my trigger is here. Now, my other trigger is right here. You see? Unless I change this to move differently. Okay? So here's your trigger points. I'm not constantly in one spot. Here, this is my trigger. Here. Now I'm going to trigger, I trigger this way. You see how this hand, elbow comes up? Then the punch comes over here. Now this comes down and comes over here. Then I could come in with these box punches. So many different things. So your triggers when you're coming out is from when you first originally stand. So let's just practice that a little bit. Just play. Come out here and I'm just going to stand in front of you. All right? All right, so now you got to step out. We're stepping out, right? You guys are stepping out. When you first step out, set up your hands for your triggers. So your punches are coming out a little bit dynamically, a little bit differently. Picture your shadow being in front of you, and you're going to be hitting at different spots. So when you first come out, you come out here. All right, so let's just do that. You come out and you all step here. Now this is your first triggers, right? So this is where I'm going to be punching from. So if I'm punching from here and I'm concentrating here, I can punch with my lead hand on my backhand, and you don't want to take your backhand and move this way, like you're fighting in a ring. I'm going to boom, move this way and this way, you see? So if he's standing here, like he's fighting, just to demonstrate that, right? If he's standing here and I'm coming this way and I want to hit with this hand, I'm not doing this, right? On the street, I'm coming, boom, I'm hitting here. So I'm hitting this way. I'm hitting right from here, turning, boom, and hitting, boom. So none of this comes in. I'm not moving any of this. I'm already triggered for the punch. You see what I'm saying? You're already triggered. So my range, if I'm standing here and I come this way, then I'm pushing my punch. And pushing them against somebody like this guy, it's not going to work. Right? If I'm here, boom, I hit, I'm hitting dead solid. Boom, and then I'm hitting here. None of this is coming in. So it's all coming from your triggers and here and your T's. Right? It's all coming from your T, where you're signing up. Right? That's where you're losing. You're just getting comfortable with it. So when you come out, there's very little movement. It's very direct. If you're standing here and I'm fighting, I'm right, boom, right, boom, here, moving. Right? And I like going for takedowns, too. So that's why my hand comes behind after I hit. But you're usually gone anyway by that time. Now it's just you drop. You know, I've had people and they just drop fast and then I can grab them. You know, they're not there anymore. How do you drop so fast? I don't get it. But okay. You know, gravity. Bam! Big bang. All right, so now let's try this again. Just one shot first. Before you do that, I want you to step out and here. Right, however you are. Now come back again and come out with the other side. Step out here. So this is my trigger. So now from here is where I'm hitting. And I'm hitting that energy wall. There's no reason for me to do this or this. I'm just coming straight in and targeting that street. Right? But you guys go back to these hard hits, because your limbic system, your reptile brain takes over, and you're still chasing the bananas. Right? You gotta stop chasing the damn bananas. You know? Just go to an ice cream shop and, you know, have them give you a banana. Right? We're still doing that. We still have our wars. We still have that because the emotional content gives us something to do. This is combat. This is different. Direct, right in front of you, boom. But you can't be serious like when you're coming in. You're going, boom. You're coming this way. You're missing it. You gotta let your chi flow. It's gotta flow. Chi. Explain chi just a little bit. You're on a really bad traffic jam. Are you happy? You're stuck behind a person that's driving too slow, and they're all, Venom, are you happy? No, I know you ain't happy, right? You got that little, you calm down a little bit, but you get that road rage, everybody gets that. Why is that person, I just experienced that coming in here, like, why is, and there's no cars in front of them, you just drive in the passing lane, you know, and it's just like, you know, what do you think about it? I don't know. But are you happy? No, you pull around and you hit another car in the process because this person in front of you is pissing you off. Your chi's not good. It's not flowing there, right? When traffic is moving well and everybody's happy, you're like driving and you're just having a good time. When you're stuck in traffic because of construction or because of something else, you're like, argh, you know, like, you know, and we always have a place to be, especially in Jersey, right? I gotta be somewhere, you know, like, your chi's not good. So in combat, your chi has to flow like good traffic. Right? You should learn how to balance it. And when you are in front of somebody next time and they're really pissing you off, just breathe. And try to be a little bit more understanding and take your time getting out of the way. Even though they are dense. You know, they're dense. People are just dense. That's just the way it is. You know, but okay. So, you know, you've ever noticed on the street, accidents sometimes happen because two dense people are hitting each other. But if the other person is aware, you have one person that's always a little bit more aware of the other guy's density and gets out of the way. It's amazing how we do that. I don't get it. You know, it's just amazing how we can all be on the road at the same time, you know, and still not kill each other, especially with human stupidity, right? So I don't know how it works. You get a person that's really, really bad at driving, but another person is okay and gets out of the way. So you need to just practice getting your chi move, and just coming out. Not, this is serious. Your chi is all here. Your energy, your muscle memory, all bam, so you're always hitting solid. That's what I was saying earlier, how you just pull it out at any time. You can't go, I'm just failing my test, I just got through this, and you're having a really bad day, my teacher's driving me crazy. BAM! There's no such thing as convenience. There's no such thing, it doesn't happen. It's always a shock when violence happens. Except to the person maybe that is causing the violence because they paid you. Sometimes it just happens spontaneously, you know. People just get out of the car, like just following somebody that's really slow, and this guy gets out of the car, what's your problem? You know, like, you're an idiot, that's my problem, and then you just, you know, fighting each other. But you fight on this one. I mean, it happened to me. It's happened to me. Not too long ago, maybe a couple of years ago. This guy did what he's doing. I said, oh. And I wasn't going to fight him with skills. I just wanted to beat him to death. I was a little bit more violent maybe 5 years ago. 5 or 6 years ago. Still couldn't contain some of my aggression. I don't care. So, you know, the guy cut me off and just gave me the finger. I pulled over and waited for him. And he just was smart enough to just try. I thought I could fight this guy because he had a big beard. He was a biker. I could see he was a biker, so I was going to crush this guy. And he just kept going. So anger hits us all. It does. There are days when you're just not perfect. But when you're really dangerous, you know, you want to be a little bit careful. Well, they could be dangerous. The guy could have got out and had a gun, you know, which I probably still would have. Then I would have brought some skill sets in, you know. But the whole thing is that life is life. And we all have that aggression in us. It's all in us. You know, so you need to pull it out and control it. And you can also put it to sleep. Like next time you're in a road rage, or you're angry at something that's in front of you. It just takes practice, guys. But the limbic system kicks in, our emotional contact kicks in, and it becomes your God. And a lot of violence feels good at the time when you're releasing it, but later you pay a big price for it. Back in the day when I hit certain people and stuff like that and saw the damage it did, I was really upset. It's like Musashi, should I really stab that kid with the sword? maybe I should have let that go. Maybe I should have nailed it to the tree. It's all part of life experience. So you can pull this out, just bring it out, bring it out, and it's with you throughout your life. Even in situations that are as intense as what you're going through right now. All right, guys, so let's try it. First, before you come out, I just want you to step out and trigger. Go, just step out and trigger your points. Just come out, just hold your hands there, wherever they are. And then come back to the other side, do it again. Come back to the other side, do it again. All right, now, picture what's in front of you. So we're going to have to stand in front of each other in a little bit, which will be a little bit. Use your imagination. Now you've got to trigger first. So you've got to hold your position. So this is going to be a little bit difficult. You've got to come out here, you've got to trigger first. When you feel this, I want you to throw your 2 punches. Boom. And then you come back and you reset. But you need to take your time. So your gray matter starts to grasp this. It's got to get into your computer, your brain. Your gray matter can do it. Your frontal lobes. Let's get them working, right? So if I come out here first, I'm going to come out here first, and I'm going to stand here. I'm going to put my hands up. Now, I see my opponent in front of me, and I already said there's a red dot here, there's a red dot here, and then I go boom, and I hit. Right? And then you're going to come back and do it again. But I want you to trigger first, so you're really trying to work from your trigger points and throw the same catch punches, catch the fly from that. If I come out here and I just want to do boom, boom, 1, I'm coming out 1, 2, I'm seeing where that's. So just pause for like a second. And then throw. But make sure you do that pause first so you can see that your hands get more dynamic and you're coming out of different ranges. So if he's standing here and his hands are up and I'm triggering here, I already see that I got this hit, I got this hit, I got this hit, I got this hit. My legs got here, it's got here, it's got here. All those work coming together. So I'm matching the dots. Here I could come in, I could just step a little bit, boom, and come in here, hit here. That's got to break his rib, and then something else is got to come in. So trigger a little bit, but catch the fly too, okay? Is there anything I'm not explaining? You look like you're scowling. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. Don't think so hard, right? Just come out and flow with it. Get that chi going, right? I can imagine being behind you on the road. Okay? Chill out, man. Chill out if you can. All right? Ready? Go ahead, guys. Just do it on your own. When you're going to put this up on video?
What, the bus?
Yeah.
I usually do day of.
So you guys can actually watch it. You can actually see what I'm talking about. Right? You'll see what I'm saying. You'll see it, right? You go, oh, damn. Now I know what Sifu sees. Right? Trigger for different spots, guys. Don't keep your hands in the same thing. One high, one low. Sometimes even. That was not bad, Alex. But you just did that. Had some merit to it. Right? Hope are strong, but they're not fast, right? There you go. Just worry about motion more. You already have the strength, right? You want to get speed and power, not just muscle, right? Okay? Get the muscle out of it and work with speed and power. Right? Not muscle. There you go. That's much better. Much better. Right? And it's actually hitting harder. Right? You'll see that in the video when you watch it. You'll see it. Right? Just loosen up, guys. Loosen up. Okay, so now, why don't you guys 2 and 2? So what's going to happen here, Venom will come out here, right? Venom takes his stance, right? So I want you to trigger from here. Do your steps. So you're getting all that step going on. And this is kind of combat as well, right? I'm already reading him. So when I come out, I step. You see my hands in here? So here they are, here's where my trigger's gonna be. This is not something I would want to throw, but I'm gonna throw it, and it's gonna be a 1-2 shot to the head. And then I come back, and then he goes. But you see how your hands are always, and that's where you're gonna fight from. Where your hands are gonna be. So if I stay right where you're at, then I'm good, very good. So if I come out here, and I'm doing this here, you see I'm gonna have a double hit, right? And I'm coming from here, my triggers. If I wanna change that, my stance changes a little bit. Now I'm gonna do straight catch the fly, right? Straight punch, reverse punch, right? And then come in with another reverse punch, where I'm coming in. So you can see the hands are different. If we're moving, we're fighting, all this is what's gonna come in. I'm gonna play with the hands in real life. Hands mean nothing. And another little point for everybody that's fighting, if you've got his hands up, what is that? Why would I be afraid of this? I'm just going to go, you see, I just, bam, just going to pull it right into him. His hands aren't force fields. They're not stopping me. I'll punch him, I'll kick them, I'll break the elbow. This is violence is violence. Yeah, okay, so you guys got the idea. All right, so go on. All right, so pair off. First guy that's got to go, get into a stance. All right, and you're standing there. So you're going to bring your triggers right up from there. So step out first in the whole position, go ahead. And then you throw. Right? You see how rigid you are, right? You don't like that. You didn't like that, did you? And it's nice. Then you're going to get to see that on video, and you're going to go, I must drive Sifu crazy. You know, you with that. So I need to work on it. And that's the best way is with the ball, right? You can see how hard this is to really bring Mortal Kombat into the game, right? But it's there, it's in you, you just gotta work on it. All right, now you go. Unless you wanna go twice, and you wanna go twice however you wanna go, right? However it is. All right, go ahead guys, play. Just play. No. You gotta take a fight stance against him, and then he throws, so he can see where he's gonna be attacking from. Because then we can start working with the whole stuff that I was talking about, working off the person. So you could go 2 and 2, however you want to go. Now you want to keep it loose, like what you were doing out here a little bit, okay? Not bad, Alex. That wasn't bad, right? Just get motion now. Speed and power will develop as you're going in. You want to get motion of movement, right? And try some different punches and different angles with the punches. Get a little creative, even though the person's standing on a straight line. Most fights are on a straight line in combat. You know, they're coming at you straight with a knife and stuff, and we get into weapon defense and stuff like that there. So, you know, now look guys, all right. Here's Tim. Tim's gonna practice his punch on me. I'm standing here, right? I'm serious here. I'm not just standing like, you know, like a freaking Gumby doll, right? When I'm standing in front of my opponent, I'm serious no matter what I'm doing. You guys are like, oh, I'm just standing here like a wax dummy. No, I have presence. You need to practice presence. So if he's going to practice his punches, he's just standing there. I'm not doing this here. What is that? There's no attitude. There's nothing there. When I stand, I'm working on my center as well. You can feel that coming off of me. Even if he hits me, I'm probably going to break his hand with my head, right? So as I'm coming out with this way, when I stand, I'm standing. And then he throws his punches, right? Because you watch some old fighters like Benny Arquitas, when he, especially at the end of him, he's standing, he's fighting this way here. You're standing in front of a guy like that. He's going to blow you away, which he did, right? Just standing there coming straight, because he had presence, he had attitude. You need to keep that all the time. Just like what I was saying, it's like if you're real sick, you're not feeling bad, that whatever your center comes, boom, it's here. If you're not practicing it, just standing here and you just wait, oh, it's his turn to go. I'm just standing here like a wax dummy. No, you gotta practice presence. You shouldn't even walk practicing presence. Everything should be there. You need to become very aware of getting your mind to move through your body for combat. Remember, these classes are different. I mean, people will be watching this when we get the club going and stuff. We're going to do that on video and stuff. They'll see that, and then we'll do one class where everybody can participate. Anybody who's watching can come down. But you could practice this at home. But if you're practicing it like a flower child, you know, it's not working. You know, I was back with the hippies, you know, flower show. I love those girls. Anyway, but the whole point was just standing here this way, you know. I'm standing here, I'm not just going, okay, you go. What is that? What really, what is that? Yeah, if I'm standing here, I'm giving him a target. I'm also contemplating that if he hits me, I'm gonna freaking bury this guy because he's gonna piss me off. You know, back in my fight, I'm having my nose broken like 40-something times. It's just amazing. You know, feet broken, all that stuff. Now I just, you know, just teach. It's just easier. All right, you guys got the idea? Presence, man. Stand there with that, keep that whole center going. I don't want to see just because you're standing there like I'm not in the game. You are in the game. You should be thinking about how you're going to be hit, because those hits are coming at you. How would you effectively work off those hits? How would you stand in front of those hits? You know, when it's not me punching at you. All right, you got the idea? Be present, guys. What's wrong with you guys? Right? Practice. Right? As I said, I really like that I consolidated these classes and just working with my 5 people, so I can really get tougher. Make sure you're keeping that presence. Attitude doesn't mean, you know, sometimes it means showing your face, but just keeping your presence. All right, guys, stay with the same partners. We're going to play a little game now with this. All right? So you can see that you guys have to make some improvements. So if you take maybe 10 minutes out of your time during your regular practice, and you hang that little ball. I love simplicity. Hang that little ball up and just start moving around it a little bit. It's got to make some improvements on it and work with your triggers. So here, you got to get to practice with this a little bit. So what's going to happen here is we've got to stand in front of each other. You've got to bow, right? And then we're going to position. Now, at this point here, we're going to, the first out of the gate. First out of the gate. Then you've got to position again. So here I'm positioning here. Here's where my trigger. So he sees where my so you've got to block, but the block's not going to really work. But you've got to try to see. So I'm very clear about where my triggers are going to be, right, and where I'm going to come in. So I'm going to move from here, move, and move, right, and then we come again, and then now it's his turn. And so you see the triggers, and he goes here. And so I'm seeing where he's at. Now we could talk about blocking a little bit. But the real art of blocking is blocking going in. How blocks really work is reading your opponent, and that's complicated. We just get you guys to punch. So now you get to play a little bit, right? So if we take Hulk out here, it's the same thing. So first, to get you out of the gate, right, you bow each other, and then we position, then you reposition yourself just to get yourself going. And now I'm going to strike. So you can see kind of where my strikes are, where my trigger's going to be. Boom, boom. You got to block. Right? Boom, boom. Yeah, block them. Boom, boom. All right. And then here we come back again. That was terrible. Let's do this again. All right. So that's why I'm going through it a little bit. So we bow in. You position. So you're working from here, boom. Position now. If I'm going first, he kind of sees where I'm at. He's going to block. Right. Okay. And then we reposition, and then he punches. Right? And that's it. Simple as that. The blocking there is just so that you get some kind of, eye-hand coordination. I could show you tricks about blocking. It's really easy. And I could show you how aggressive it really is as far as fighting on the street. Blocking going in. So you guys got it? And then I'll switch this up a little bit so you work with each other a little bit. So start with the original partners and then take it from there. Put that in a position where you guys can actually watch yourself at home. So he's got to put that up same day, today or tomorrow. You guys can get on the videos and actually watch that, right? So first position, then reposition again, and now rock and roll. Decide who's going first, and then it just goes back and forth between the both of you, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you got your triggers. You're not really blocking. You're kind of playing, right? Remember, bring in your T's for the blocks, right? Your hands should be going so fast that person shouldn't be able to block you. Right? Okay, remember I told you guys, you're also practicing presence, what I said in the beginning, right? One of the things as you were moving I really liked about standing back when I was doing a lot of fighting, you forgot about everything. When you stand in front of somebody that wants to knock your face off, the world disappears. Your problems, your money problems, finance, everything disappears. It's really a good stress release, especially if you're working with somebody that's better than you and, is just out there playing with you, just having a good time. It's fun getting hit, just having that presence with it. You're not thinking about anything, right? And play with your ranges, guys. Play farther range, close range, mid-range. See where you're coming from, how you have to move. You're allowed to move a little bit. You can move. You don't have to stay like a stick figure. You move with your strikes, right? You play, right? Be a little bit more playful. That was nice, Tim. That was better. Right? Make sure your stances, guys, are always strong. Always practice attitude. Right? Discover some different parts of your emotional content, your limbic system. Bring that into play. See if I can read this guy's chicken scratch. Okay, guys, switch partners. Who's ever next to you? Fight sound, man. Fight. Get your stances strong when you're moving against each other, where you're attacking from. Get your center going.
You want to go 1-1 or just one move?
How do you guys do two? We haven't brought kicking into this. Kicking's coming next with this.
Okay, sure.
So it could be 1-2, it could be 1, however you want to do it. However you want to read it, however you want to call it, guys. Oh, man. Guys are a lot of work. I'm not even out there. Loosen up there, Hulk, right? Remember, you were doing good before, right? You want to have those hits, have more freedom of movement, more freedom of expression. That was nice, sir. Right? That was nice. Right? See your shots, and then just boom, boom. Right? You see how you're like, right? You want to just bam, catch the fly. You're still practicing catch the fly. All right? Keep that in. Keep the playfulness in, guys. You could see how combat is hard, as opposed to just fighting in the ring or doing anything like that, which all has its merits. But any good ring fighter, no matter how tough they may be, will tell you fighting on the street. And you take somebody like Michael Tyson, and he'll tell you street fighting is completely different than fighting in the ring. It's just different. People don't also do what you expect them to do. So you guys can mix it up a little bit. Do catch the fly, keep going, stay with your partner, but maybe bring a chopper or so into it, So you're trying to get some, some different open hand fighting with it, Right? You can combine a chop and a punch, just become a little bit more playful, right? Because again, this is very direct. It's allowing you to practice the target. When we get into the freer movement, of course, that's coming with this, with the form fighting and stuff that we're doing. You could bring some chops into it. You guys got the chops in the 5-element form. You want to bring that out. See how that's going. Remember, you got to come from your center, though. Always coming from your center. Pressure point system is right down the middle. Right? The vulnerability of the body. Some things on the side, like the jaw, the temple, the head has a lot of side hits that you could bring in, but right down the middle, guys. Right? Control your center. That was a little bit better, Moshe, right? A little bit looser, right? You just want to be more playful, right? So you can bring some of that speed in. Nice, Ben. That was good. See? Start loosening up a little bit, getting some different stuff coming in. Like I said, no matter what day you're having, bad day, good day, wonderful day, you just hit the lottery day, you just lost everything day, you just You always maintain your center. Be careful of your attachments, right? Just move. Okay, you block real well with your face there, Venom. I mean, not Venom, O'Shea. Get those hands going. Don't block with your head. Right? Be a little bit playful. Also, a little balance there too, right? So that's all the stuff you're putting into check, right? This is how you're learning. Getting out there. Remember, mix it up. A little bit of chops in there. You know, a little bit of side fists. You know, start to be a little bit more playful with it. But make sure you're coming from your triggers. Right? You practice the triggers and your stance work. Not really too much your footwork, though it's coming into play here. Just really kind of consolidating your stances so you're feeling the power when you're throwing. Getting better there. Making some improvements. Both of you guys are making some improvements. Right? You're going to see if you're improving a little bit. Don't be so serious. Why so serious? Right? Flow. Let your chi flow. Let that aggressive energy flow. Play a little bit, you know, get in the game. Guys, also when you're standing your blockers, you don't forget you got the dragon moves, which means your body moves up and down, right? Let's stop for a second. So what I'm saying with that is if I'm out here, right, and he's standing here and we're lined up and he's got to throw his punch. You see where I have this movement here? This movement comes in as well. So he throws, boom, boom, I'm moving, and boom, then I'm coming out. I have this movement too. So I'm not just standing robotically. I could be standing here, keep my stance strong. It's a nice strong stance. I could turn, boom, and punch. So he's got to block this, boom, right? He's not going to stop it. This up and down motion here is important as well, right? Here I am, I'm fighting him. It's like why I look so much bigger. I'm a little guy, right? But you say like you look huge and it's I fought 6'9" guys. They say you look so much bigger. How's that happen? Because it's all part of that dragon technique. If I'm fighting somebody really tall, nobody here is really tall, but where's Vic when you need him? Right? I'm like this, so if he's here and I'm this way, he's got to see, and I'm tearing him apart, or it equals out. So don't forget this motion here. All of this, when you're standing in your stance and you're blocking, you see, I'm playing. So if he's standing here and we're going to move and I'm going to block him, I'm just right here, just playing here, and then we move again and I'm going to block him. I'm not even moving that much. I just boom, because I can see where it's coming because this is part of the game here. You can actually see because you're triggering from it. You guys are struggling with your blocks and your stances and your movement. So if he's standing, say if I'm punching him and I want to come close, right? I'm close. So my punch here is going to go boom, this way, bam, right? You see how it moves? I'm not looking for the shots. I see it, I take it. Bite his head off. Be like that praying mantis. Well, not having sex with you guys don't want to have sex. At least I don't want to see it anyway. All right? Bite his head off. I don't know, it may be pretty cool to watch. I don't know, that may be cool to watch actually. All right, go ahead guys. Just play a little bit now and then we'll call it, right? Just a little bit more. Go ahead. Do that. Now don't forget that up and down motion. Bring that dragon technique into it. Dragon, if you think it's a little dragon, it's a little dragon. Especially the American dragon, not the Chinese dragon.
American Dragon, like Puff the Magic Dragon?
No, not Puff. Well, that's the same thing, I guess, Puff the Magic Dragon. But the whole thing here is just, the dragon, I'm going to grab that dragon. Look, he's a small dragon. I'm going to go in there and take all the virgins and take all the gold. And then when you get up there in your shiny suit and everything, the dragon just expands itself. And you say, well, it's not a small dragon anymore, it's a big dragon.
Or high love.
Yeah.
Switch it.
Dragon wants to eat me. Shock you. Dragons shock you. Know your dragon. switch partners one more time, guys. Take the round with everybody that you haven't worked before, right? Just one more time, right?
How do you open it? Okay, sounds good.
Get your movements to flow more, guys. Get your movements to flow. Thank you guys for writing the papers. I really appreciate you guys follow through on that. Hopefully it clears some things up while you're doing what you're doing. While you're training with a crazy man. Loosen it up, guys. Loosen it up. Keep your stances strong. Loosen your body. Just boom. Come out. Loosen that up.
Can we do? I'm not game, but if you want to, sure.
Make sure you're coming from your triggers. All right, guys. So any comments or anything that you guys want to elaborate on? Did you get anything that you're not sure about? Or
And I felt more loose, more free as the exercise went on.
you're starting to feel, yeah. Chi, energy of the body, the battery of the body has to move through. It's how, there's a lot to that.